It's already time for our first housing market update of 2023. Today I'm going to walk you through what's happening with interest rates, home prices, where both are expected to go. I want to talk about opportunity in new construction. I'm going to use real-time examples so that you don't have to rely on old data. This is going to position you to help leverage the market as either a buyer or a seller. Let's get started. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Erica Monroe. I'm a realtor in the Bay Area and I specialize in Solano County. The housing market has been an emotional roller coaster for many, and today I want to give you some real-time insight into what's happening in our market. We have to start with discussing interest rates. As we've talked about before, interest rates are the major driving force of our housing market. We've seen that as interest rates drop, the buyer pool increases, causing multiple offers and the price points go up. When the interest rates go up, fewer buyers can participate because it's not as affordable to buy. Fewer homes sell at list price or higher. We saw some beautiful softening of interest rates around January. In fact, my clients were able to lock rates around the 5% marker, which is a huge improvement from the peak of 7.5% in October of last year. As rates came down, we started to see an influx of buyers, and sure enough, those multiple offer situations started to occur again. Well, at the start of March, the Fed released their most recent report on inflation and core CPI, and unfortunately, numbers are still reporting high, so guess what happened? The interest rates were increased to help cool spending, cool the economy, therefore cooling inflation. We approached near 7% last week. We did see a little relief this Monday, and it's likely due to the Silicon Valley Bank debacle. We saw about 0.25% improvement. The projection is that interest rates will continue to be volatile in the near future, so they'll go up and down a little unpredictably, but the overall trend is that they will lower towards the end of the year and into 2024. The thing is, you can never project a perfect market. Right? As a buyer, if rates come down, that's exciting, but that means other buyers are also going to take advantage. And as we saw over the pandemic, it's going to increase multiple offer situations and it's going to drive up the price point. Active buyers today likely can leverage the market more so than when rates come down and they have to compete with more multiple offer situations. If you are actively placing offers, make sure you're connecting with your lender or your agent every day to check rates. And even before getting into contract, if we have another rate reduction, see if your lender can lock that rate for you. That's going to help improve the affordability factor and make you more competitive. And sellers, it's impossible to know exactly where the interest rates are going to be when your house comes to market, but keep in mind, historically, spring and summer is the best time to sell. The chance that you'd have a multiple offer situation is greater than if you were to sell in any other time of year. So with that, we need to talk about price points. When will home prices drop, or will they continue to rise? Taking a look at the first quarter of 2022 versus the first quarter of 2023, the median home price in Solano County dropped by about 5%. So the median home that was 3 beds, 2 bath, about 1,700 square feet, sold for $565,000 in 2023 compared to $595,000 in 2022. So that's a $30,000 reduction or a 5% decrease. I found realistically in real time that my clients were saving between $15,000 and $20,000, not quite up at that $30,000 marker. And my theory is that these stats are reflecting the residuals from 2022. So these stats include homes that came to market in October, November, and December of last year, which was the hardest time for sellers to sell. Interest rates were sky high, and naturally, as we approach the holidays, the buyer pool shrinks. So those sellers likely had to give a lot of concessions, and that's reflected in this $30,000 price reduction. So if you are a buyer entering into the spring market, I would encourage you not to believe that you're automatically going to get a $30,000 price reduction. Keep in mind that inventory is very tight right now. In Solano County, we have about 2 months supply of inventory. A neutral market, so a market that's very balanced, has a 6-month supply of inventory. So technically, we are very much still in a seller's market. It's really important to understand as a buyer, you're likely gonna have to be more competitive and aggressive than you would have been at the last quarter of 2022. And for sellers, the lack of inventory is key. The principles of supply and demand are going to help you protect your home values. You still have to be very cautious about how you price your house. Overpricing it will likely cause the house to sit on market. You may have to do price reductions, and at the end, you may end up netting less than you would have if you had priced your house more appropriately. You also want to showcase your house to the best of your ability. Buyers are scrutinizing homes more so than they have in the last 4 years. So take the time to declutter, repaint the interior, stage or lightly stage. You want to make sure you have beautiful photography and marketing. You want to entice as many buyers as possible because it's going to take that. You're going to have to put in the effort. But if you do so, you're likely to leverage the fact that there's not enough inventory and you should reap the benefits. Let's move on to new construction. As I mentioned at the start of the year, there's been a lot of opportunity in new construction developments because developers have standing inventory. Well, they've mostly sold through that with a few units remaining, which means that they're offering incentives such as closing cost credit, they're helping you buy down the rate, and could potentially help you cover the cost of purchasing solar. Just keep in mind there's that 30% federal tax incentive for purchased solar that you can collect next year. Builders, however, have started to slow their pace of building. So unless a house is near completion now, it's gonna take 8 or 9 months. So that means end of 2023 into 2024 before those houses are move-in ready. And when there's no standing inventory, the builder doesn't have the same pressure to offer incentives to get rid of units. So if you are considering purchasing new construction in the next year, I would definitely encourage you to look at whether it's feasible to bump up your timeline. You're not going to be offered the same incentives and credits back when there's no more standing inventory. Heading into the spring market, there's definitely opportunity for buyers and there's opportunity for sellers. If you need help accomplishing your goals this spring, please reach out to me. I would be honored to help.